187 for 7. It was a tale of two halves. Power play, India dominated. Middle stages from 7 to 12, it was South Africa dominating. 13 to 18 or 19 even, when you look at it, Jasprit, Bumrah and Arshdeep Singh ensured that only 41 runs were scored. But the last over bowled by Hardik Pandya, in which Tristan Stubbs hit about 2 sixes and got them to 44, 188. It's a very iffy chase. It's a very 50-50 chase at this point in time.
I would say I'd give a slight advantage to South Africa right now because this is a high score, and considering everything, as I know it's just early, we can always discuss it more, but I think they'd be the happier of the two sides come this point of the match. The mid-innings break, they're going to be going in with smiles on their faces, knowing they went from 21 for 3 to 187 for 7, something that I would say they'd peg as a slightly above par total. Considering what we've been seeing even in Ahmedabad, I think they'd be very happy with what they have.
What do you think, Nikhil? Above par total?
Oh, yeah, it's a tough one. You guys started the show and I was getting a few calls. Those were based on this only. Nervous Indian fans. By the way, just a bit of feedback. I can hear you very well, Siddharth, now, but Shane's audio is a bit low. It was very good early, but now it's a bit low. But anyway, I can hear. Shane also I can hear, but it's much milder than it was at the start. Just coming back to the total. So again, as I said, typical Indian fans all asking me this question. Oh, first will they do it? This looks risky. This looks tough. So far you haven't seen this kind of total. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I think 170 odd or something, South Africa chased down with quite a lot of ease in 17
against New Zealand.
In New Zealand, it was same ground, right?
Same ground, same night game.
They chased it in 17 overs. In a night game, in 17 overs with almost 3 overs to spare. So they were going at a rate where they could have easily notched up 210 or something. You're right. I remember that game, South Africa, New Zealand. And it did look like, they'll chase 200 down. I think it was, I remember that game. They chased it in 17 overs. That much I remember.
Yeah, 176 they had to chase.
Correct. In 17 overs, they reached there. So they were looking good for something like 220. So that is giving me hope that, this is sort of a pitch that will allow you those many runs. But and why I'm a bit more hopeful that this can be chased down if India bat to potential. That's another thing that they self-destruct or have a very poor day, is also because it wasn't offering that much spin today. So there wasn't that much spin on offer. And that's the other feature that we've seen with India games so far, that there's been a bit of spin. And on occasion, whenever bowlers have tried to bowl the cutters, they've really, gotten dividends from there. That wasn't happening today. So what that is telling me, that it is a good batting pitch. What that is telling me, there should be a good chance for India to chase it down as well in terms of that. And I think you talk about 21 for 3 they were at that stage. And I think that was more down to some exceptional bowling by both Arshdeep as well as Jasprit Bumrah. I think that was exceptional bowling. Unlike most other matches where the teams have lost some early wickets, have been down to, let's say Abhishek getting out, where the ball is really gripped, spinners have gotten some sort of turn and you're trying to accelerate and you've gotten out. That wasn't the case. So I think India pecked them back at that situation because of some good bowling. And then, see, from that situation, from Brevis and Miller to bat the way they did, told me that they realized the pitch is good. It's just a matter of, us attacking the bowlers. Because, see, again, the best judge, I always say, is the batter in the middle. And I think this World Cup has told us about every analyst, even those analysts who've played multiple test matches or who are ever at the ground, they've got their pitch prediction so wrong, having played international cricket for so long. The only one I now trust with the pitch prediction is the batter. I think he gauges the pitch very soon when he's batting and obviously realizes what he needs to do. So I think I'm again going by how Miller and Brevis kept attacking. I think in their minds, they assessed the pitch saying, listen, we've lost wickets to some good bowling. But that doesn't mean we need to slow down. For us to have a competitive total, we need to keep attacking. So if they had realized this was a tacky pitch, a tricky pitch, they would have course corrected and changed their batting style, at least. They did. So it tells me it's a total that I fancy India to chase down. It's also good that, we want to see that famed Indian batting lineup come up with a kind of performance that you get used to them, but they weren't getting the pitches to showcase that. So all things said and done, I would fancy India to chase down, unless, as I said, poor batting performance, some casual strokes and some careless errors doesn't allow them to get there.
Another factor which I think I was watching the match visuals, and they showed the groundsman running the ropes over the field, which means there is an onset of dew. So if there's dew set in, 187 might not seem like that big a total.
Sure, but then see, if again the characteristics, what did I say about the black soil wicket in Ahmedabad? It will be difficult to start. Batters will find it difficult to start with. But as the game progresses, after the power play onwards, it becomes very easy to bat. Look at what the New Zealand game, New Zealand, South Africa. New Zealand didn't recover after that slow start, but they still got to 175. Here, South Africa managed 187. It was also, I think, down to the fact that today the spinners just didn't get any kind of purchase. Which is why, Nikhil, I wanted to ask you, today Varun Chakravarti had an off day. But does this now also bring into focus that India got spooked by the matchups because you included Sundar, who struggled in the Netherlands game as well?
I mean, that's the tweet I put out, Siddharth. I completely agree with you on that, and I was shocked. And the tweet I put out was that when it comes to your batters, you don't look at matchups. What are you telling us when a lot of people said maybe get us and you? It's not on form, but on matchup, or make a shuffle to your batting order. You know, these were suggestions offered. Why? Because on matchup. And I'm not saying they needed to do that. I like Surya Kumar Yadav's approach at that time where he said, no, listen, this is our batting lineup. We'll go strong like this. It works for us. This is it. Fine, fair enough. I completely agree with that. Completely back the captain. So there you have this thought process that matchups don't matter, form does, and whoever you believe in will continue. Now, Akshar Patel was your eyes closed first choice spin bowling all-rounder. Now, because South Africa has multiple left-handers, you've gotten an off-spinner. See, again, nothing against Washi. You remember in the previous game also I said that one game that Washi played, the last game against Namibia, I said the one thing that I picked up from that game, because it was in that sense, an aimless game. You had already qualified, so it wasn't going to give you anything. So you were just picking for different, little bit tidbits here and there, which might help you going forward in the Super 8. So one thing I picked up there was that Washi, the bowler, bowled 4 overs, wasn't really troubling the Namibian batters, where there was still something on offer for the spinners.
Netherlands batters, you mean, Nikhil?
Oh, apologies, Netherlands. Apologies, correct. The last match, Netherlands. So when that was the case, so he's not showing great form with the ball. Plus, you're not seeing matchup when it comes to your batter. Then why are you seeing matchups here? See, again, I'll tell you, today you had a good start. And then, if you remember, there has been few occasions in this tournament itself where the opposition batters have put you under pressure. Your bowlers have come under pressure. Go and check those matches. It's Akshar Patel who's picked up crucial wickets at that stage. He's come 2 games I can remember. Pakistan. He's come at that stage. Yes, Pakistan, and one more game. It was against one of the minnows.
US.
I forget. I think you're right. I think it was US. I'll still go back onto. Same way they were, looking good. Akshar comes in. They try to attack him. He picks up those wickets. So he's been the one. So today, I'm not saying that is 100% guaranteed, but he's shown you in 2 games he can do that. He's tried and tested your first choice spin bowling all-rounder. Maybe today was the stage Miller and Brevis were attacking. He would have got one of those, and Brevis is the right-hander anyway.
Also,
I'm
the
a bit
other
surprised
problem
that they didn't play Akshar.
with this matchups thing is that I was looking at the South African batting lineup. They were batting till number 8 with Corbin Bosch, which meant that actually, if you're looking at the batting lineup, they had 3 left-handers, whereas 5 were right-handers. So you're preparing for the minority matchup? Make that make sense.
And also, when Bumrah got rid of De Kock and Rickleton, it made no sense then. Washington just had to bowl to Miller. And anyway, when he bowled to Miller also, it didn't work. Now, if you don't trust that your leg side boundary is bigger, ensure that you have the right plans for Akshar, who's your outright a better bowler than Washington.
Also, the other thing which people don't tend to look at so often is that when Varun sometimes is a little expensive, having an Akshar who's a pound for pound far more superior bowler to Washington means you've got 2 spin threats. Today Varun struggled, and you were struggling with your spinners because Washington was looking ordinary. You had to turn to Dubey, who himself got tongued, but who at least got you the key wicket. and you bowled him maybe a couple more overs more than necessary, then you would have had to bowl if you had an Akshar Patel in the lineup.
And it's Ahmedabad, it's Motera. How on past precedents you cannot pick Bapu on this particular wicket, I just don't understand. I don't know whether it will hurt India, but as predicted, it's Markram who's opening the bowling. And this will be a matchup which will be very interesting because I think it's Ishan.
Before we wind up, I want to know, I'd given you my prediction, but I want the two of you to tell me, what do you think?
I think we are headed for a last ball finish with India just scraping over the line.
I think India will still
that's
win.
a prediction and a half. So precise.
I think India will still win, but it will be a close game. Yeah, I think you're headed till like the 19th over for sure.
19th over, yeah, that's an easy one, Shane. I mean, like, that's a big total.
Okay, 19.4.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I made my prediction not as precise as you guys, but I think the big question was, can India make it or not? And I think to that, I feel they should. They should, and I think it's good. It will give them that batting practice as well, and also probably put the naysayers on side who've been, and including us, who've cast doubt sometimes on the rhythm of Indian batters. So yeah, let's see.
Yeah,
I think
almost.
they'll do it.
Yes.
Yeah,
So it's
didn't time it.
all SRH, if you look at past SRH and 2 current SRH guys.
Yeah, Abhishek, Ishan,
Markram. Yeah. Markram will know the weaknesses. So yeah, 3 dots and I think the ploy has worked.
Oh, good God, it has worked.
Ishan is gone. Not Abhishek.
Yeah.
So the sequence of an opener falling for a duck in the Indian team is continuing. Abhishek used to go for 3 this thing later. Now Ishan's gone for a duck. This is a very interesting contest. But this is where South Africa's lack of spin depth, now it will get compensated with Markram getting wickets then if that is the case.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. So that is the bit.
Again, he had a reprieve in the ball prior to that where he should have realized that it's not really, coming on.
Yeah.
Maybe, and you know what I like about Ishan is he can hit sometimes, he can pierce the gap so well and get you fours. Why does he need to go for an airy-fairy shot? Especially the ball that's not in his slot. This wasn't in his slot. See, if it's in your slot, you go for it, I'm going to get those runs. This wasn't in his slot and he does really well, to time it through the gaps and get you a few four. Deft touches also he had. So, I mean, again,
I didn't understand because he went for a slog when it wasn't on. Markram was consistently pulling the length back just a little bit to ensure it's not in the slot.
And you remember in the previous instance, when we were doing the ground report from there, Markram was bowling in that particular channel on that particular length, and Albie Morkel was leaving the deliveries. I think he was trying to get him, bowl in this zone, so that the batter just can't swing through the arc. So I think it's reaped dividends, and now it's Tilak and it's a big game for him. And will Abhishek? It's the main matchup is for this, Abhishek versus Markram. That is the key thing at this point in time. So we'll take a comment. I think we can go through this over then.
Yeah, we may as well.
Yeah. Rakesh Bhushan Singh, mediocre captaincy from Sky in terms of bowling rotation, bringing Bumrah in 17th over for his third.
100% agree. I was going to make that point. I saved it for the post-match because, we were so focusing on what. I think when that partnership was flourishing, he should have gotten 1 over of Bumrah for sure. He didn't do that. I know you're celebrating Abhishek Sharma off the mark. Right?
Yes, in this World Cup, he's off the mark.
That's what. I know. But I agree. Maybe we'll have enough time to discuss those errors by the captain, especially Bumrah. Bumrah should have been got in at that time. See, the game was there. If you had got one between Brevis and Miller, it would have sent triggered panic stations in South Africa. So I don't know.
And I don't know.
Waited too long.
Does Suryakumar Yadav play for the Mumbai Indians? He does, right?
Yeah.
Then he himself should have realized that bowling Hardik Pandya in the 20th over has never made sense.
Yeah, Hardik in the death is a bad option. Also, the other mistake, not being highlighted as much, he bowled 3 overs of Arshdeep in the power play, which basically eliminated one of his overs in the death.
Yes. Didn't make sense at all. Hardik, barring Barbados, yes, he defended 16 runs. Great. But before that, and after that, Hardik has been struggling in the 20th over of the innings.
It's pretty telling that he doesn't even bowl himself in the death for Mumbai Indians. That should tell you everything you need to know.
Exactly. So, And Tilak is gone. Okay.
Oh dear, this could be an interesting ride.
Yeah, this will be a very interesting ride, but I think he's reviewed. I think. Yeah. So, Anish Sharma playing Sundar ahead of Aksar proved a bad move. Agree, totally. For the moment.
For the moment. Rakesh
Why
Bhushan
would you review when you're not sure if you've edged it or not? I can't
that could be a
understand.
waste of a review if he wasn't sure. Unless he knew for sure.
Yeah. He says, I don't know. And he's reviewing it.
And
What?
Jansen seemed very confident, by the way. So
Yeah, both keeper thing. Everyone knows it's a nick. And you yourself
there is
aren't
an
sure.
yeah, basis
Yeah,
even without
everyone
ultra-
knows, yeah. Everyone has heard it. And he's saying, I don't know. If you don't know, walk.
It reminds me of that time Rashid Khan reviewed for Bold.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, there's a thick edge. Come on.
yeah.
Exactly my point. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. The keeper knows it's an edge. The bowler knows it. The umpire knows it. The batter doesn't know it. And he's taking a review. See, if you're 100% sure not nicked it up, okay. The first reaction, that's when I was like, what is he doing? He's out.
And he's burned one review for good measure. Well done.
Well done, indeed. Well done. League
Yeah,
matches.
you have time to change your prediction. Huh? You're still live. It's not over.
I trust in
There's
the
still,
depth.
there's still Rinku Singh.
He could do what he did to GT.
God's plan.
God's plan.
Same venue.
Same venue, yeah. Who knows? Rakesh Bhushan, league matches, none of these bowlers were tested. Moment opposition attacked these bowlers, barring Bumrah, no one rose to the occasion.
Fair.
For the moment, yes, I would agree. Ajib Agarkar.
Yeah, we'll edit his one a bit, but he says that's so intelligent of the captain and coach. Said pick Washi, but after his first over, said no more overs to him. Wow, what a selection.
Made no sense at all. Even if India win this, there will be questions. Why can't you play your match winner?
Your best 11.
And why are you so spooked about the matchup if you are a champion thinking side? I can't make sense about it. I'm very sorry. So let's see. 2 wickets down, I think. Not since the USA game have we been in this situation. Isn't it? Because we have gotten to 50-60 where we are 1 down. So let's see how it will be at this point. So Markram might do the Will Jacks. Very well might happen. Very well might happen. So yeah, we will be back for the post-match. Or do we go through this over as well?
No, let's just give up for the post match.
Okay, so yeah, Surya of the mark. He has a good record against South Africa, by the way, in T20 World Cups. So, hope. Okay, so from me, Nikhil and Shane, it's bye-bye. We'll be joining you immediately as soon as this match ends. India win, we'll be joining you live. Bye-bye.